Good day, ma'am. I am Arnel Pellegrino and I am here to report that Chapter 16, which titled the Formalities of Entry in and Exit from the Philippines. So, in this chapter, the learning objectives are identify the various governments for foreigners to enter the Philippines, explain the importance of a valid passport when traveling, enumerate the privilege of Filipinos covered by the Balikbayan program, and lastly is discuss the dual citizenship law. So, the content of this chapter is the following: passport requirements, exclusions and deportations of foreigners, admissions requirements, and the dual citizenship law. So, the entry and admissions of foreigners into the Philippines are matters of privilege because every foreign state has absolute and exclusive power of government in its own territory. Although entitled to all the rights and privilege of a friendly guest, they cannot claim that the right to enjoy privilege which by their natures belong exclusively to the host. So, admissions requirements. So, in Section 10, non-immigrants must present for admissions into the Philippines an expired passport or official documents in the natures of passport issued by the government of the countries to which they owe allegiance, or other travel documents showing their origins and identify as prescribed by regulations, and valid passport visa granted by diplomatic or consular officers. So, non-immigrants must present an expired passport and valid visas prior to their admissions into the Philippines. The Philippine Immigration Act provides 7 visa categories for non-immigrants, namely temporary visitor, transient, CN, treaty trader or treaty investor, foreign government official, student, and peer-arranged employment. So, passport requirements. So, as passport is defined as an official document of identity and nationality issued to a person intending to travel or sojourn in foreign countries. It is the property of the government of the issuing authority. It is not a private property of the person to whom it has been issued. So, there are 3 types of passport, namely diplomatic passports, official passport, and a regular passport. So, visa requirements. So, a visa is a written endorsement made on a travel document or passport by consular official denoting that the visa application has been properly examined and that the bearer is permitted to proceed to the country of his destination. So, Section 16, the visa those issued is not guarantee that the holder will be automatically admitted into the country, because the admission of foreign nationals into the Philippines is functions of the immigration authorities at the port of entry. So, SOBIC Special Investors Visa under the RA 7227. So, foreign nationals not categorized as restrict as determined by the Department of Foreign Affairs visiting the SOBIC free port zone for business and or tourism purposes may be allowed to enter all ports of entry of the zone and stay therein without a visa for a maximum period of 14 days, provided that upon arrival their passport, certificates of identity, or travel documents valid for at least 6 months beyond the intended stay in the zone, and confirmed onward flight tickets. So, a special economic zone visa under Executive Order number 80 of 1993 and Executive Order number 80 of the Section 1993. Foreign nationals not categorized as restricted as determined by the Department of Foreign Affairs visiting the Clark Ecozone for business and or tourism purposes may be allowed to enter all ports of entry of the Clark Ecozone and stay therein without visa for a maximum period of 14 days, provided that upon arrival they present their passport, certificates of authority or travel documents valid for at least 6 months beyond the intended stay in the Clark Ecozone and confirm onward flight tickets. So Cagayan Economic Zone and Free Port Visa under RA 792. Any foreign investor who establishes a business enterprise within the zone and who maintains a capital investment of not less than $150,000 shall be granted, along with his or her spouses, dependents, and unmarried children below 21 years of age, a permanent resident status with the zone. Section 28, such as foreign investors and his or her spouse, dependents, and unmarried children below the age of 21 years shall have the freedom of ingress to and from the zone without need of any special authorizations from the Bureau of Immigration. So, additional requirements prior to entry is for non-immigrants: a valid ticket for a return journey to the country of origin or to the next country of destination is required for presentations. Certificates of residence must be secured by the following categories of non-immigrants from the Bureau of Immigration. First, the temporary visitor. Second, the student, and the third is a pre-arranged employment. Section 33, foreigners entering as non-immigrants may also be required to register in accordance with the provisions of the Alien Registrations Act as follows. So, first, any alien who is in the Philippines at the time of the approval of Alien Registration Act and who is 14 years of age or more and will remain in the Philippines for 30 days or longer. The second is any alien who enters the Philippines after approval of the Alien Registration Act of 1950 and who is 14 years of age or more and who will remain in the Philippines for 30 days or longer, provided that this provision shall not apply to an alien admitted in the Philippines for 60 days or longer. So the third is every parent or legal guardians of any alien child who is in the Philippines at the time of the approval of the Alien Registration Act of 1950 and who is below 14 years of age and will remain in the Philippines for 30 days or longer. So the last is every parent or legal guardian of any alien child who enters the Philippines after the approval of said act and who is below 14 years of age and who will remain in the Philippines for 30 days or longer, provided, however, that this provision shall not apply to an alien child admitted into the Philippines as temporary visitors or transient, unless said child will remain in the Philippines for 60 days or more. So, last is that every parent or legal guardians of any alien child born in the Philippines. And the last is whenever an alien attains his 14th birthday in the Philippines. So, extensions to stay. In the case of non-immigrant visa holders who stays in the Philippines will exceed 59 days, the consular officers shall advise them that they should secure extensions of stays and register with the Bureau of Immigration and pay the necessary immigration fees. Therefore, the Secretary of Foreign Affairs is not authorized to admit into the Philippines aliens of temporary stay or to extend the temporary stay of alien visitors in the country, as the law vests such power in the commissioners of immigrations in section 39. So exclusions of foreigners. Section 29, the following classes of aliens shall be included from entry in the Philippines: idiots or insane persons and persons who have been insane, persons afflicted with a loathsome or dangerous and contagious disease as epilepsy, persons who have been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, prostitute or procurers or persons coming for any immoral purposes. Deportations of foreigners. Section 37. The following aliens shall be arrested upon the warrant of the Commissioners of Immigration or of any other officers designated by him or the purpose and deported upon the warrant of the Commissioner of Immigration after determinations by the Board of Commissioners of the existence of grounds for the deportations as charged against the alien. Any alien who enters in the Philippines after the effective date of this act by the means of false and misleading statements or without inspections and admissions by the immigration authorities at a designated port of entry or at any place other than at a designated port of entry as amended by Republic Act number 503 Section 13. So, any alien who enters the Philippines after the effective date of this act who was not lawfully admissible at the time of entry. Third is any alien who, after the effective date of this act, is convicted in the Philippines and sentenced for a term of 1 year or more for a crime involving moral turpitude committed within 5 years after his entry of the Philippines, or who, at any times after such entry, is convicted and sentenced more than once. And the fourth is any alien who is convicted and sentenced for violations of law governing prohibited drugs as amended by Republic Act number 503 Section 13. So, detentions of foreign travelers. Section 25, for the purpose of determining whether aliens arriving in the Philippines belong to any of the classes excluded by the immigration laws, the examining immigration officers may order such aliens detained on board the vessels bringing them or in such other place as the officers may designate such detentions to be for a sufficient length of time enable the officers determine whether they belongs to an excluded class and their removal to such other place to be at expense of the vessel bringing them. So, under Section 6 of the Philippines Immigration Act of 1940, immigration officers may detain aliens on board the vessels conveying them into the Philippines. The detention shall be for a sufficient period of time to enable the immigration officers to determine whether the aliens concerned belong to any of excludable classes in Section 29, or the aliens concerned may be applied and qualify for waivers of their exclusions from the Commissioners of Immigrations. So, exit requirements. Section 22, any alien about to depart from the Philippines temporarily or for permanent residence abroad shall, before leaving the country, apply to the Commissioners of Immigration for clearance certificate. If the Commissioners finds that the application has no pending obligation with the government, it is instrumentalities, agencies, and subdivisions, and that there is no pending criminal, civil, or administrative actions which by the law requires his presence in the Philippines, the Commissioner shall issue the certificate upon surrender of the aliens of all other certificates previously issued to him by the Bureau of Immigration showing his admissions and or his residence in the Philippines, added pursuant to Republic Act number 144 Section 2 252. No foreigner shall depart from the Philippines except at a port of a departure unless there has been issued a valid immigration clearance certificate or certificate of exemptions in his favor. Failure to comply is penalized by the Immigrations Act number 54. The immigration clearance certificate allows immigration authorities to monitor all the departures of aliens from the Philippines and is one major source of income of the efficient administrations and enforcement of immigration laws, rules, and regulations. So the following are exempted from securing immigration clearance certificates. First, the aliens deported from the Philippines or aliens under deportations proceeding who are given information to depart at their own expenses lieu for deportations to a specified destinations and are departing to such destination. Second is aliens minors under 14 years of age. And third is alien transient or temporary visitors staying in the Philippines for less than 15 days. So, Republic Act 9225, Dual Citizenship Law. Under this law, natural-born citizens of the Philippines who became citizens of other countries shall be deemed not to have lost their Philippine citizenship. Consequently, they must file a petitions under oath to the Commissioners of Immigration for the issuance of an identification certificate. Former natural-born citizens living abroad may file the petitions to the nearest Philippine Foreign Post. A copy of the birth certificate authenticated by the National Statistics Office is required to submit as a proof of being a natural-born citizen of the Philippines. So, that's all, and thank you.